Cool. All right, welcome to the first Reddit advice column episode. I don't have a good name for it yet. I apologize, but name is a work in progress. All right, so welcome to the first ever episode of the advice column. I'm your host Cody, and I'm going to be giving you some life advice. We're going to do some Am I the Asshole from Reddit. Eventually, I think the plan is eventually to get some audience participation with actual advice, but for now, let's do it. So first episode, first story ever. So, okay. Am I the asshole for not being honest with my wife about why I hesitated to marry her? Oh boy, we're off to a great start here. That just sounds bad. Let's get into it. This person, OP, said, disclaimer, I realize that regardless of the option I choose, I'll likely come across as an asshole. Still, I'm trying to determine which choice will make me less so. Okay, so let's begin. So when I, male 39, was a kid, I knew a girl from my neighborhood named Susie, female 38. Now, she was an only child with older parents, incredibly gullible. Given her gullibility and me being a bit of a troublemaker, I used to play pranks on her often. Susie was good friends with my younger sisters, Emily, female 38, and Tara, female 36, which gave me plenty of chances to mess with her. He's talking about Susie. The pranks varied from hiding her belongings to convincing her of absurd things. Around the time I was 12, I learned that from Emily that Susie had a crush on me, or this OP. For reasons I can't quite explain, this annoyed me very much. You're 12. It makes sense. You're 12. It happens. This annoyed me very much, so I escalated the pranks. One of the worst incidents was letting our dog, Bo, chase her, knowing she was terrified of dogs. Oof, okay, that's very mean. Yes, you're not wrong. But the worst was probably when I accidentally locked her in our laundry room and got into serious trouble with my parents. Okay, I mean, it was an accident, okay? Susie's family moved away later that year, and aside from Emily mentioning from time to time what she was up to, I didn't really hear or think about her again. That was until about 7 years ago when I saw her working at the same hospital I work at. Turns out she started working as a nurse. I was really embarrassed when we met again because I remembered not being particularly nice to her. That's an understatement, but sure. You said 39, so this was 27 years ago? Okay, I mean, you can probably put that behind you, but let's truck forward as we are adults here. I was really embarrassed when we met again. I remember not being particularly nice to her, but she seemed very happy to see me. That's good. She's definitely moved on, which you should probably do. She suggested we exchange numbers and meet up sometime outside of work, and I agreed. To try and atone, I suppose, I helped Susie out as much as I could at work and agreed to all her requests to meet up. Eventually, she suggested we go out as a couple. No, as a couple is what he said. And feeling obligated, I agreed. You shouldn't feel obligated, but sure. Okay, this is a while ago, but you shouldn't feel obligated to go out. If you want to go out, you go out, but okay. But nonetheless, eventually we got married and are now the proud parents of 3 small children, 2 males, 5 and 3, and 1 female who was 1. I suppose you could say that guilt was what mainly kept me with Susie, but she does a lot for me. And I honestly don't think I'll ever be able to fully reciprocate it as much as I try. Now that we have a family, I'm genuinely happy with how things played out. That being said, in all honesty, I didn't really feel in love with Susie until we had our second child. Of course, I enjoyed being with her and always wanted whatever was best for her, but a big part of me knows I just rolled with it, and because I kind of feel guilty about the past in my family, adored her. Okay, we were getting into the meat of this one. In fact, I repeatedly delayed. Okay, hold on. I pre-read these, by the way, but it's been like a day or two, so I let it kind of sit. I wanted to make sure like they're all like not crazy, like insane, but like also kind of real, not like fake stories. So that's kind of why I pre-read. But oh boy, I forgot about that one. In fact, I repeatedly delayed our wedding a few times because I was having serious doubts. My father, uncle, and older cousin Ian, male 43, 43, all know the real reason for this, but instead insisted that compatibility was more important than what they called blind, dumb love. I also sometimes think about this guy named Stevie, male 41, who used to work with us. He was really into Susie, but she turned him down several times. After we got married, he moved to another state. And as far as I know, he's still single. Sometimes I wonder if Susie would have been better off with him, but it's too late for that now, I suppose. I made up various excuses to Susie for the delays, and she accepted them all without fuss. Eventually we married, and by the time our second child came along, my doubts had disappeared. That's good. At least the thoughts at least they disappeared. My life with Susie has been great. She still is very much head over heels for me, and I can probably count on one hand the number of times we had an argument. Okay, pretty good. However, a few weeks ago, Susie asked me why I kept delaying our wedding, and I brought up the same excuses I used back then. She then told me that she had been thinking about this since one of her friends mentioned to her that I never seemed particularly enthusiastic back then about getting married. No way. Yeah, it's hard to hide that. I totally can see where this person's coming from. It's hard to hide not being enthusiastic about a marriage. I was a little annoyed with this, so I told her that her friend was probably projecting her own marital problems since this friend is having serious relationship issues with her own husband. Okay. Rough. Okay. I mean, she's not wrong. Why are you being so mean? I mean, I guess, like, you got found out and it could hurt. I could see that. But, like, that's, I mean, okay, sure. That just seems mean to do. And kind of gaslight your wife into, like, thinking that she's crazy or the friend's crazy. That, I don't know, that doesn't sit right with me, but we'll keep going. I don't know why, but this conversation has been eating away at me, and I do feel a renewed sense of guilt all of a sudden. I don't know why. I spoke with Ian about it last week, his cousin, and he says Susie has a good life, and so there's no point in dwelling on it. And I definitely shouldn't bring it up to her. I largely agreed, but still have some guilt. Am I an asshole for continuing to keep this to myself? The answer to the question for keeping it to yourself is probably no. At this point, you're married with 3 kids. I don't know the length of the marriage, but I'm assuming it's a lengthy one, considering they have 3 children. So it's at most 5 years, probably, because I don't think they had kids before, unless they did. But at minimum 5 years of marriage. There's no reason. There's no reason to keep this to his. Like, there's no reason to feel guilty for keeping to this to himself. You can feel guilty about the feelings that come out of you when you talk about this thing, but honestly, what he really needs is therapy. This dude has serious guilt about a past that he has, like, it's gone. He's 39, and this happened when he was 12. 27 years and you still feel really guilty. I mean, okay, let's be real. To be fair, the thing about letting the dog chase her is pretty terrible. But you were 12. You can't really hold too much against yourself, you know? Like, I don't really hold much against you for being 12. I mean, you probably should know a little better since you are 12. But I mean, it's not like it's the past. 27 years ago. What are you gonna do? I don't know. I feel very conflicted about the way you feel about this. The delaying the wedding is I get it. I see how that makes, like, I see that why you would want to, I don't know. Like, I see, like, the reasoning to delay the wedding or, like, why you did it, but, like, lying to your future wife about it kind of seems a little, like you're starting off on the wrong foot here. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about you lying about what was the real issue. I wish, and this is just me, but I wish you could have been more honest about it. I have also another issue with you feeling obligated to stay with her. That's a weird thing to say, especially if it's, like I said, it's been 27 years. It's just weird that you feel obligated. I know the feelings of regret are gone so far, like you said, like after the second child, it's kind of disappeared. I think that's a good thing. I don't know if it took you seeing her as a mother maybe, or anything like that, but I don't know. It's just very weird to me. There is a reason to feel guilty. Like you do, like what you did was pretty rough. I think what you feel guilty about isn't necessarily the things you did 27 years ago. I think you feel guilty about lying to your wife about the reason you delayed the wedding. And I think that is your ultimate reason for feeling guilty. I think you know that. I think you understand that. I'm talking to this person. That's how it's gonna be. I'm sorry. Life advice number 1: just be honest with your spouse or significant other, because it's probably gonna pay off in the long run. I know that saying such a thing as I feel guilty about things I did 27 years ago or 20 whatever years ago, and I'm having doubts to why I deserve you. I think you can word this in a way that doesn't sound nearly as bad. You know what I mean? You kind of just, you dug yourself in a hole here where you're like, I did other things, and maybe those were true. And if you weren't necessarily lying, but it does look like you were lying because you said that it wasn't because of you feel like you regret it or whatever. I don't know. This is a weird one because it doesn't seem fake. So that's good. I wanted actual life advice here. So it's good. I don't know. Overall, I think what we can glean from this, and I think this is where I'm going to kind of focus this type of episode. We as the readers can glean from a story like this. Just be honest. And if you think that being honest is going to ruin your relationship in any way, that doesn't sound like there's a lot to stand on in that relationship. If you can be honest with your spouse about certain things, and I don't know, like you can word certain things in certain ways and make it sound a little better than it is. Like you don't tell her like, ew, I didn't like you until we had our second kid. But you go, you know what? I did have some reservations about our wedding and about getting married to you because I do honestly feel really bad about what I did 20 years ago. And like, should you? Probably not, but it's the reality you're in now, and you can say that to her. And a good supportive wife is going to say, okay, that's fine. Can we talk about it and communicate through with each other and talk about why we might feel this way 20 plus years later and why you feel obligated to stay with me? Like, do I make you feel like you're obligated to stay with me? That's what I would be asking. Like, am I in any way making you feel like you can't leave or can't go anywhere or can't say your mind? Because that's kind of where I would go. I've had conversations like that with my wife. Do I make you feel certain ways? And if I make you feel any way like that, I'm sorry, and I want to change that, right? It sounds like you can still have this conversation. Your marriage isn't over, and you shouldn't in no way divorce your wife or anything like that. And you're not asking that, but I think it would probably be a good thing to talk about why you felt a certain way about it and then go from there. I think that would be a good thing. Let's move on to story 2. I'm going to say this off rip. I know I just said I want real life advice, so I picked this story. Was so funny to me that I couldn't, not funny, but like, I don't know, just something about it tickled me, and I thought it was hilarious. Like, I don't know. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there, but I am in no way elite, medical professional, but I don't know, it's just for entertainment. So take that as you will. On to story 2. Am I the asshole for stalking my coworker? Stalking. Yes, you heard that right. I, 45 male, have worked as a police officer for the past several years after serving in the military. I have certain thoughts about this person that I will share at the end. I know we're supposed to like be impartial, but I have certain thoughts, not necessarily relating to his occupations, but him as a person, and you can tell. As a result of my background, I've always had a nose for scumbags, being able to see people for what they really are, even when others remain oblivious. Okay, buddy, you're freaking cool, bro. This has been especially true for one of my coworkers named Daniel. What Daniel do, bro? Male 34. Motherfucker's always given me the creeps, and from the moment I met him, I've known there was something wrong with him. Okay. I've tried to get my coworkers to see the light several times, but since the son of a bitch is so popular with our unit, it always has been a lost cause. I will come back to that. I think that is an interesting line he included. Over the last few months, our department, this sounds crazy, and I'm sorry, it sounds like a freaking TV show, but listen. Over the last few months, our department headed up a massive investigation involving a serial killer. I found Daniel loitering around at one of the crime scenes and noted that he had an unusual interest in the case. And although I couldn't prove it, I knew he was somehow connected to the scumbag we nailed. Okay. As a result, over the last few weeks, I've spent the time I've had off the clock trailing him, stalking him, learning his routine, waiting for him to slip up and expose himself. I know there's something wrong with that and I'm just waiting for him to tell me what it is. My boss found out, good, and about my excursions and ordered me to stop, as you should. Stop stalking your coworker. But if I'm right, then that there's something fishy about Daniel, which I usually am, all right, buddy, cool. They're gonna regret not listening to me until it was too late. Bro thinks he's Patrick Jane. Bro thinks he's Batman, and I freaking love it. I know I said I wanted real stories. First of all, this is clearly fake. So funny. But he's 1,000% asshole. What the hell is wrong with you? Okay. He admits to stalking right off the bat. Am I the asshole for stalking my coworker? Yes, you are. Period. End of story. I don't think I need to say anything else. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because I feel that this is a good lesson for people who are a little bit arrogant. And I know if you're arrogant, you're not watching this video, but maybe you are, and good for you, buddy. You're here, and I'm talking to you, okay? I'm watching you, okay? So it's clearly fake. He says, I've always had a nose for scumbags. Okay, sure. Maybe you're pretty good at it. I think this is a 10 years younger than you person. He's probably way cooler than you, clearly, because nobody hates this guy. You're the only person that thinks this. Everyone in the department's like, yeah, we like Daniel. And you're like, I hate this guy. Bro, you need to do some, and I know you won't, because a fake person posted this, because I don't think a person who actually thinks they are in the right would post this, because this is crazy. This sounds crazy, and this is crazy. This is the pilot episode, a TV series for real, but I thought it was hilarious. My advice would be, don't stalk people. This is my advice for this one. If you have a serious concern and you're a police officer, I would assume there's probably some sort of protocol for investigating this. If you had a serious issue, the thing is, if this is real, and we're going to assume this is real from now on, and I'm not going to mention it's fake ever again. If this person thought this was real, the first thing this person should do is go to their higher up and just be like, hey, I have this bad feeling. I just need to get it off my chest. Or just don't stalk him, because you have literally no evidence for it. You saw him maybe hanging around the crime scene. That's about it. One, I know you don't like him. I don't think you like that other people like him. And I think you're just letting this kind of get to you, because he's clearly way cooler than you, because everyone in your department likes him and you're the only one that doesn't. Because I'm assuming if you knew someone who actually didn't like him, you would have mentioned it, but you didn't. So no one dislikes him. I think there's other reasons you don't like him and you're just not willing to admit it. He honestly could just be way cooler than you and you're just really annoyed at that. Your glory days in the military are all gone behind you, and now you're kind of stuck as a cop, but good for you, buddy. Alrighty, thought that was hilarious. Let's move on to story number 3. Ooh, this one's rough. Am I the asshole for being mad at my significant other for not coming to my ultrasound? Oh boy. Okay. For background, me, 20 female, and my boyfriend, 21 male, have been together for 3 years. So you were 17 and he was... Oh, I hope that math doesn't math, but I'm pretty sure she was 17 and he was 18. I'm really hoping they are really close in birthdays. Otherwise, this is real weird. It's only a year, so it's not that bad. We found out we were pregnant around December, which sadly ended in miscarriage in February of this year. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot about that. Oof. But at the beginning of September, we found out we were pregnant again. My boyfriend seemed kind of happy. Interesting. Not ecstatic, also interesting. Even though we have been planning for this since the miscarriage happened. Okay, interesting. I decided to shrug it off. I figured it's a big change and he's probably just scared, just as scared as me for it to happen the same way it did last time. Totally fair. I can see that. To stay less stressed, I've tried to stay positive. I bought baby books, quit smoking, started eating extremely healthy, and making sure I stayed calm and tried to not think as much about if I could end bad. I even got him a cute baby book for dads. He never read one last time, so I figured he would want one this time. When I asked him if he read any of it about a week ago, just because it was in the same spot I left it for him to read, he said, I skimmed it. I already know all of that. For context, he does not have any other children. So he's not a experienced father. Interesting. Okay. He didn't come to my confirmation appointment, which he did last time, but said he'd be there for the ultrasound in early October. Okay, so he didn't go to the confirmation, but he said he would go to the ultrasound. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I could see that. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. My anxiety has been getting to me lately about things being wrong because my nausea has lessened rather quickly and other symptoms have gone away as well. So I booked an ultrasound at Imaging Place a week before my 8-week ultrasound just to make sure there is a baby. Okay, and there is a heartbeat. Okay. I empathize with her so much. I want to I've never experienced this, but like I can totally empathize with that feeling of like, is the baby okay? I totally empathize because that sounds horrendous. And she is a trooper for going through this and really handling it very well, it sounds like. So I asked him to go, but he pointed out that we have to drive 30 minutes further than my OB's office. It's his last day off work that week and he just wants to relax and stay home playing video games. Okay, cool. I protested and asked if he wanted to see the heartbeat and know everything is okay. And he said he didn't want to go to an ultrasound until he can see facial features and recognizable things. What is this guy's deal? These past few days, I've told him how it makes me sad and he's not going, and he replied for me to not make him feel bad about the situation. Oh my, that is terrible. Okay, dude, just invalidating and being like, oh, I'm the victim, you piece of garbage. Oh my gosh. Wow, that irks me to no degree. That irks me to the like millionth degree. That's so frustrating to me. So the ultrasound's tomorrow and I'm going with my mother. I'm extremely heartbroken and disappointed he's not going to be there in case anything goes wrong. How awful is that? All you want is your boyfriend to be there in case something goes wrong. And you just went through a miscarriage and this guy's like, I just want to play video games. I feel sad because you don't want to go. Well, you making me feel sad, making me feel sad. Bro, get a grip, dude. She wants you to go. Get off freaking COD and go with your freaking girlfriend, dude. Goodness. Get a life, homie. My goodness. That makes me so sad. I'm extremely heartbroken and disappointed he's not going to be there in case anything goes wrong. The pain you must feel. That is so upsetting to me. Or in case anything goes right and he gets to hear the heartbeat with me. Dude, like she just wants him to be there, man. And you just won't go. Maybe I'm being crazy, but I can't help but feel like he really doesn't care, and he doesn't. And he's shown you that he does not care, and that he cares more about his own comfort than anything I'm feeling. Yes, he has shown you that. I don't know, any advice would be appreciated. You're obviously not the asshole. Holy crap. Okay, I don't know if I remembered this differently or if I like read it and I'm like, wow. But dude, this is bad. Like you went to him and be like, and you didn't say anything like, oh, you make me feel this way, you and blame him. You just said, it makes me sad that you won't go. And this son of a gun had the audacity to be like, you're making me sad. What a guy. Oh my goodness. Okay. He seems very selfish, obviously. He has serious priority issues for sure. You both need to have a serious conversation, like for sure, like for real, like tomorrow, and just be like, hey, I'm not okay with how you handled that situation. I said how I felt. I never blamed you, and you played the victim, and that hurt my feelings. I have gone through a miscarriage. I am nervous. I am scared. I am sad. I am so anxious about having this baby, and you want to sit on your butt and play video games while I am trying over here comfort and try to calm down so I don't have another miscarriage. Holy crap. Wow. What a conversation. I wish I could be there. I want to rip into him. I want to do it. Can I do it? Call me, girl. Call me. I want to rip into this dude. Probably doesn't care, but whatever. I just want to lay into this guy. What the heck is wrong with you, bro? She is literally sitting here on her, oh my goodness, with your son and her child and your baby in her belly. And you're like, I want to play video games. You make me feel sad. Oh my goodness. You married, you're dating a child. And I'm so sad to say that. Oh my goodness. Oh, this one irks me more than I remember. I'm just sad because you literally were like, I just want him to be there in case something goes wrong. How upsetting that is to hear. You just want him to be there to support you. And he says, you know what? It's my last day off work. Let me play video games. Let me go play Valorant. Bro, get off the computer and go touch some grass and get your priorities in check. Cause that is crazy. I am so with you that me time is very important, and me time is very important. You time is so important in a relationship, but your girlfriend is literally asking you to go to her ultrasound post miscarriage, and she's nervous and anxious and quitting. She quit smoking, which is super addictive and hard to do. She's eating healthier for this freaking baby, and you don't give a crap about this baby, and that is wild to me. Oh my goodness. I feel so bad for her. I want to read, I'm going back. I'm hoping this story is still up because I want to read some comments. We're going to go to comments now. I'll link all the stories below, by the way, if they still exist. Okay, she deleted this. She did delete the story. Sorry, but your BF likely has the attitude of, we are not pregnant, you are. It isn't uncommon. He might not get involved until the baby is born, and maybe not much even then. On the other hand, he could turn out to be a very good father. Okay, this guy's giving him too much credit. That's rough. No, I actually disagree with that comment. So don't hold the ultrasound against him. No, nope, not cool. Someone underneath. Hold on, I think this is better. Others here have said it, but I'm going to reiterate. This isn't a comment. This guy is not dad material. He sees your appointments as intrusive and irrelevant to him. And he does, and he showed you that. When you have a baby, it will cry and need changing when your boyfriend wants sleep, game, eat, hang out with friends, and many other things. You will be alone because he sees himself as a separate from those things with you as primary. Yes, he does. The baby is hungry. I just got home. You're nursing anyway. Baby likes you more anyways. Hypothetical situations they're bringing up. Baby cries a nice. Probably hungry. It wants you anyway. I just fell asleep. I have to work. It's my day off. Not the asshole. You guys are very young. Is this the life you envision? Wow. Okay. Mic drop. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it at this. If this is the life you are envisioning for yourself with a person who you have expressed anxiety about a potential second miscarriage, and you have, because I'm assuming they've talked about it because they're together. Maybe they haven't, but I'm just going to assume. I'm going to assume that you have talked about your anxiety with this pregnancy and the fact that it might be another miscarriage. And this guy says, I just want to play video games and not go and make sure the baby's okay. That is not someone who I would want to be with. That is someone you shouldn't want to be with. But if that is, then that's okay. It's your choice, and you will have to learn you have to make your own decisions. But you have been together for 3 years. You're very young. I remember being 20 and 21 and thinking I was ready for marriage. And then lo and behold, I wasn't married till I was 25. And I was like, wow, I am probably just now ready for marriage. And I could not imagine getting married at 21 or 20 or having a baby. People have often said that babies are a bigger commitment than marriage. And that is partially true. If you actually take marriage seriously, then no, it's probably not. But overall, yeah, mostly. Like if you guys have this baby, hypothetically, you have this baby and you divorce, you are altering that baby's life forever. Their childhood, forever. And that is something I would take into serious consideration when thinking about having a child with someone who puts their own needs before a baby, let alone you. Thank you so much for watching. I loved doing this. This is actually super fun. I've got plenty more on the way. I did the Am I the Asshole subreddit, but I'm actually looking at Am I Overreacting as a way more interesting like situationships, relationships stuff that is super duper interesting I want to get into. Without further ado, thank you so much for coming by. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe down below, please. I love it. This was so much fun. So if you have anything you want advice on, please let me know. And if I said anything wrong, or I said anything you disagreed with, leave a comment. I want to hear what you say. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear what everyone thinks. I'm sorry if I sound a little nasally. I'm actually really sick. I'm literally on antibiotics for a sinus infection. So I feel like I sound really nasally, but I don't think so. Thank you so much for coming by. I will see you guys next time. Bye.